Have you ever noticed that some of life's, well, most profound lessons can spring from the most unexpected places?
Hmm.
We're not just talking ancient philosophy here, but sometimes maybe even from the sprawling sagas of a galaxy far, far away. Beyond the epic lightsaber duels, it's often the quiet, internal struggles that truly forge a hero.
It's absolutely true. The external conflicts in these stories, they often mirror deep personal battles. It's fascinating, really. They offer this lens through which to examine, universal human experiences, even with Jedi in the mix.
Exactly. So today, we're embarking on an exploration, a deep dive into Star Wars, Jedi Apprentice Special Edition, #1 Deceptions by Jude Watson. Our goal here is to pull out some powerful insights from this really rich narrative. We'll be focusing on things like personal growth, the enduring weight of past choices, trust all those complexities, and of course the evolution of characters like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker.
Right. And we'll be pulling all our insights and details directly from chapters 1 through 23 of Deceptions, trying to bring you the most important nuggets of knowledge from this really captivating story.
Okay, let's jump in. We start with a look at a young Obi-Wan. Years before he was the wise master we all know. We find him revisiting the Room of 1,000 Fountains inside the Jedi Temple.
Hmm.
It's meant to be a place of serenity, peace.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But for Obi-Wan, it's scarred by memory. It's actually where he battled a former Jedi student, Bruck Chun.
Right, and Bruck tragically fell to his death during that confrontation.
Exactly. Now, Obi-Wan wasn't directly to blame. The Council even cleared him. But the guilt, it weighs so heavily on him, he feels responsible.
And what's really striking there right away is how the story highlights that difference between, let's say, objective fact and subjective emotional truth. Like, he knows intellectually he wasn't at fault, but that internal story, that narrative of guilt, it just persists. It's a powerful illustration that, justice can clear your name, but it rarely clears your conscience. True healing, as Obi-Wan finds out, is often an inside job.
And the galaxy isn't about to let him just forget it either.
Yeah.
Soon after, Obi-Wan gets this rare and, frankly, pretty unwelcome summons from the entire Jedi Council.
Yeah, that's got to be intimidating.
Absolutely. And his apprehension is, well, it's well-founded. Vox Chun, who is Bruck's recently pardoned father, is arriving at the temple. He wants a report on his son's death. He specifically wants Obi-Wan to recount the details.
Oof. You can just imagine the tension in the room for that reunion.
Seriously.
It sets up this unusual kind of almost legal drama, but within the Jedi framework. The Council acknowledges how difficult it is. Even Master Yoda notes, "No, we do that. This is not easy for you, Obi-Wan."
Right.
It shows the Jedi's commitment to transparency, I think, even when it means confronting painful truths and subjecting their own to external scrutiny.
So Vox Chun arrives, but he's not alone. He's got Bruck's younger brother, Qui-Gon Jinn, with him, and a prosecutor named Sano Sorrow.
Ah, the prosecutor.
Yeah, and it's immediately clear Sorrow isn't there for, moral support. His intent seems to be to destabilize the Jedi. He uses these incredibly shrewd, almost predatory tactics during the Senate hearing, twisting Obi-Wan's words, challenging his claims, even digging up past rivalries with Bruck, and get this Obi-Wan's temporary departure from the Jedi Order years before.
Wow, really going for the weak spots. He forces Obi-Wan to admit resentment towards Bruck, asking him point blank, forcing that reluctant yes.
Exactly.
Sorrow's questioning is just a direct attack on the Jedi's core principles, isn't it?
All right.
Questioning their mandate to avoid death at all costs, and questioning the Force itself as a moral guide. He even tries to undermine Bant, Obi-Wan's friend, during her testimony.
Whoa, right. Bant's testimony is crucial.
Yeah, she describes nearly drowning while chained underwater by Bruck. And Sorrow, so shrewdly, questions how she could know she was close to death if she didn't pass out, basically reducing her profound near-death experience to just a feeling. It's brutal.
But then we get a classic Qui-Gon Jinn moment.
Ah, Qui-Gon. Always.
Right. Just as Obi-Wan feels like he's losing control, Sorrow is making him look like a hot-headed fool, or worse, a dangerous liar. Qui-Gon intervenes. And this next reveal, it just turns everything completely on its head.
Okay, what happens?
He pulls out a hidden listening device from Bruck's lightsaber hilt.
No way.
Yes. And that device contains Bruck's own chilling words, confirming his intent to let Bant die. He says, Band is dying. I won't have to do a thing. I'll just make you watch it.
Wow. Undeniable proof.
Completely undeniable. It solidifies Obi-Wan's account perfectly.
So that's the dramatic turning point. A piece of deception, that hidden listening device, actually becomes the tool to reveal the truth and exonerate Obi-Wan. The senators rule Obi-Wan free of any responsibility for Bruck's death.
Yeah, you'd think that would be the end of it, right? Relief.
You would think. But for Obi-Wan, it brings him zero internal peace. The guilt just lingers. We see this so acutely right after the hearing. Cad Chun confronts Obi-Wan, just spits at him, "You will always be a killer."
Oof. And that phrase just sticks with Obi-Wan, doesn't it?
It does.
It really underscores this profound difference between, legal exoneration and the deep personal work of reconciliation. External validation, even from the Senate, doesn't always heal those internal wounds. It really emphasizes how deeply personal coping with trauma is.
Exactly. Obi-Wan's internal struggle, that line, "I felt no different. The burden he carried was still within him." That's so central to his character arc here. It highlights that true justice, for the individual anyway, often requires an internal reckoning, much more than just an external ruling.
Okay, so let's fast forward then. 12 years. Quite a jump.
Right.
The young Padawan, still sort of scarred by that guilt, is now a Jedi Master, and he's facing new challenges with his own apprentice, Anakin Skywalker.
The chosen one himself.
Indeed. And we discover Anakin's unique nature right away. He's got this incredible mechanical aptitude, but also a quiet intensity and maybe a tendency toward isolation. Obi-Wan finds himself reflecting a lot on his own former master, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Makes sense.
And the hard-won lessons he learned about mentorship, like that quote, "You cannot make friends for your Padawan. You can only show him through your own actions how important connections are to you."
And this is such a critical period for both of them, isn't it? Obi-Wan is clearly trying to apply Qui-Gon's wisdom, but Anakin, well, he presents a very different set of challenges. His background as a slave, his unique, powerful connection to the Force. He approaches things so intuitively, which often clashes with Obi-Wan's more, let's say, analytical and disciplined approach.
And their next assignment sort of highlights this difference. It comes as a seemingly benign request from Yoda, not a mission. Yoda stresses that.
Request, always loaded.
Right. They're sent to the biocruiser, this massive, self-sustaining ship housing people from damaged worlds, led by someone called Uni. The Senate's worried about potential coercion, maybe brainwashing. That kind of setup in the Jedi Order almost always means something more complicated is brewing underneath.
Oh, definitely. And this is where we immediately see that contrast in their perceptions again. It's crucial for their developing relationship. While Obi-Wan is, looking for concrete evidence of wrongdoing or coercion.
The facts.
Exactly. Anakin senses this profound sadness in the biocruiser's inhabitants. He puts it really beautifully, actually.
What does he say?
He says, well, they gave up. That's always sad, isn't it? And leaving your family and friends behind makes you sad, too. They push it way down.
Yeah.
But it's there. It's there in their dreams. Where else can it go?
Wow. So Anakin's intuition is really picking up on something emotional, something Obi-Wan's more analytical mind might initially just skim over. How does Obi-Wan respond to that? Does he just brush it off as, typical Anakin feeling things?
No, actually, and this is a really critical moment for their bond. Obi-Wan realizes the importance of honesty and even vulnerability in mentorship. He finally shares the painful, detailed story of Bruck Chun's death and that whole Senate hearing with Anakin.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. He admits he'd kept things from him, too, just like Qui-Gon had sometimes kept things from him. But he remembers that Qui-Gon's decision to share his past had deepened their connection, and so Obi-Wan chooses to be vulnerable. He explicitly connects his own past guilt to Anakin's struggles with anger and fear, trying to impart a deeper lesson about managing those emotions.
That really raises an important question, doesn't it? How does a mentor truly balance protecting their Padawan from their own past struggles versus, exposing them to those painful experiences to build trust and teach vital lessons? It's tricky.
It's such a fine line. But true connection, as Obi-Wan discovers here, often requires sharing your own struggles. It demonstrates empathy, shows the human side of even a Jedi Master. It's not about burdening the Padawan, maybe, but showing them that everyone, even a Master, faces these internal battles. And that vulnerability, well, it can actually strengthen a bond.
Okay, and now for a pretty unexpected turn, I think. Uni, the leader of this biocruiser,
Yeah.
turns out to be none other than Cad Chun.
Chun.
Bruck's brother.
The very same. He's older now, white-haired, deeply committed to this philosophy of withdrawal from what he sees as a corrupt galaxy.
Wow. So that reunion immediately reintroduces all that personal animosity between him and Obi-Wan. The past just comes crashing right back into the present.
Exactly.
And this is where Obi-Wan's personal history directly impacts his current mission, doesn't it? It's such a classic narrative thread. It shows how unresolved conflicts just have a way of reappearing and demanding resolution, often, with much higher stakes later on. Thankfully, Obi-Wan isn't entirely alone in navigating this tricky situation. He reunites with some old allies from a past mission on Telos, remember, Telos, often plagued by corruption.
Andra and Den. Right.
Yes, Andra, well, she's become disillusioned by her home planet's continued problems and has actually fully embraced Unis Cad's philosophy.
Okay, so she's bought in.
Totally. But Den, with his criminal antenna, as he calls them.
Love that phrase.
Me too. He remains skeptical. He senses something's off, something amiss with the biocruiser's operations, and specifically with Bruck Chun, Cad's father, who's also involved.
Den's unique perspective, born from his past as a thief and gambler short on ethics and long on charm, it proves invaluable here. He says it outright. The criminal antenna never die. There's something wrong with this operation.
So he starts digging.
Yeah, he provides these crucial, though maybe initially vague, clues. Bruck Chun meeting secretly with a tech worker named Kern, the biocruiser docking at weird industrial planets it shouldn't need to, and a specific repair job that Den insists didn't need to be done, but was overseen by this guy, Kern.
Okay, so Obi-Wan and Anakin are trying to connect these dots. Den gets access to some files and finds Kern has this unusually high Senate security clearance for just a low-level tech worker.
Suspicious.
Very. And Obi-Wan then recalls Qui-Gon telling him stories about no-name Senate operatives.
Oh yeah, those fabricated identities. Supposed to be retired upon death, but sometimes resurrected for covert ops.
Exactly. It suggests a much deeper conspiracy. And here's the absolute kicker. Kern is actually Terrence Chinati.
Wait, the Terrence Chinati? The saboteur who attacked the Jedi starfighters 12 years ago during that whole Bruck Chun incident.
Very same man.
Whoa! Okay, that's the moment. All those individual threads just suddenly connect into this much larger, more sinister tapestry.
Right.
This entanglement of old grudges, Cad's bitterness, Vox's plotting, and now these new conspiracies. It highlights a universal truth, doesn't it? Unresolved personal histories often become the weakest links, or maybe the hidden drivers, in larger plots.
And it's a testament to the power of intuition, too, whether it's Den's street smarts or Anakin's force sensitivity cutting through all those layers of deception.
Definitely. But, unfortunately, Den's snooping, even though unintentional, blows their cover. Unicad and Bruck Chun accuse the Jedi of espionage. They order them off the ship immediately, confiscating their comlinks.
Stranded, basically.
Much. This forces Obi-Wan to reach out to another old friend, Garen Mullen, for transport and, crucially, for help figuring this all out.
Okay, so the situation escalates fast. With Garen's help, the team manages to sneak back on board and hide in Bruck Chun's quarters. Risky move.
Very. And there, they uncover a stash of crystalline vertex that's a galaxy-wide currency and a holoprojector containing crucial files.
And this is where Obi-Wan makes another stunning connection. A coded file called Broken Circle. It links directly to Xanatos. Xanatos, Qui-Gon's rogue former Padawan, Obi-Wan's old enemy who nearly destroyed Telos.
That's the one. This file reveals that Broken Circle is the new name for Off-World Mining Corporation.
Off-World mining. Notoriously ruthless. Okay, this is big.
Huge.
So the files expose Off-World's whole elaborate and really sinister scheme. The biocruiser's scheduled stops. They align perfectly with planets targeted for off-world development.
So Bruck Chun has been facilitating their operations.
Exactly, through bribes using that currency they found. Yeah. And Kern Terrence Chinati, his role was to trigger false emergency repairs, specifically a Code 5 evacuation.
A Code 5. That's a critical full-scale emergency, right? Forces everyone off the ship.
Precisely. It's all an orchestrated false alarm.
Yeah.
The plan was to let off-world ships swoop in looking like rescuers while their droids sneak aboard, steal the biocruiser's vast treasury, and then just blow up the ship, destroying all the evidence. It's a perfectly orchestrated crime.
Wow. Cold-blooded. And it gets even deeper, doesn't it? It does. Obi-Wan and Garen realize that Kern Terrence Chinati's past sabotage of the Jedi starfighters 12 years ago, that wasn't random either.
Connected to Bruck Chun, too.
likely orchestrated by Vox Chun all along, designed specifically to discredit the Jedi back then. It uncovers this continuous thread of deception stretching across 12 long years, all aimed at disruption, demoralization, and distraction, just like Qui-Gon warned about.
It was never just about a Senate hearing or Bruck's death. It was a long game to undermine the Jedi and exploit the galaxy for profit and power.
It truly connects everything, doesn't it? The personal grievances of the Chun family, the huge corporate greed of Off-World, and these systematic attempts to discredit the Jedi Order. Qui-Gon's past observation comes right back to Obi-Wan. The keys to destroying something are disruption, demoralization, and distraction.
A powerful and disturbing revelation, a persistent enemy just evolving and striking again in a new form.
And then the climax just erupts. Off-world ships arrive, they initiate the attack droids board the biocruiser.
Chaos ensues. Obi-Wan is fighting heroically against the droids on board, takes an injury to his arm.
Right. And meanwhile, Anakin and Garen, they scramble into starfighters. An incredible display of piloting skill from both, defending the biocruiser and its escape liners against the off-world fleet. Anakin in particular shows that intuitive mastery of flight, pulling off these daring maneuvers, really pushing the limits. He even admits feeling a sense of triumph he knows he shouldn't.
That classic Anakin edge.
Exactly. But amidst all this chaos, there's this incredibly moving scene that really speaks to the heart of the story.
The confrontation between Cad and Vox.
Yes. Confronted with the undeniable evidence, the attack happening right now, Cad finally faces his father, Vox. And Vox just admits it all. His treachery, his insatiable desire for power. He confesses, "It is not money I want, it is power."
And then?
In this profoundly poignant moment, Cad cradles his dying father because Vox is injured in the fighting, and despite the immense betrayal, he offers him forgiveness. He just says, "Yes, Father, I forgive you."
Wow, after everything, that's powerful.
It really is. A powerful act of grace amidst destruction.
And that act of forgiveness seems to lead directly to Cad's own redemption, right?
Absolutely. He takes full responsibility for the biocruiser. He works side by side with Obi-Wan, helping to save the ship and its inhabitants, guiding it towards the planet Tentrix amidst explosions and chaos. He tells Obi-Wan, determined, "I will not lose it."
It's truly fascinating, isn't it, to see how these past broken circles, all that betrayal and deception can return in new forms.
Yeah.
And the fight for justice, for truth, often requires confronting that deep-seated personal history head-on.
And this moment, it culminates in that powerful forgiveness and redemption. It shows that even when facing immense pain, profound betrayal, transformation, and maybe a new beginning are actually possible. Cad even says later, "I have led all these beings away from what they knew, but I cannot provide them with a future." Funnily, how facing that has brought me peace at last.
So we've journeyed through this deep dive, haven't we? Revealing how one young Jedi's lingering guilt about a past tragedy became tangled up with this huge galaxy-spanning conspiracy. We've seen Obi-Wan evolve, not just as a warrior, but really as a mentor, learning to trust, learning to be vulnerable with his Padawan, Anakin.
Definitely. Obi-Wan's growth is so evident in his ability to finally confront his own past and use that to guide Anakin. And Anakin, well, he demonstrates his formidable skills, his deep, if sometimes turbulent understanding of the Force. He starts to grasp the complexities of compassion, something beyond just simple right and wrong.
And as Obi-Wan himself says so profoundly near the end, missions are not about winning and losing. They are about leaving good behind. This story really illustrates that, doesn't it? True success isn't just about defeating the bad guy. It's about the personal growth, that hard-won forgiveness, and the enduring good you can manage to leave in your wake.
And that enduring good definitely extends to the profound transformation we see in Qui-Gon Jinn. By forgiving his father, by accepting his own bitterness, he finds a path to peace, and maybe even new leadership. He shares with Obi-Wan, "I know now that you didn't cause my brother's death. Bitterness was at our family's core. I have based a system on rejection. Funny how facing that has brought me peace at last."
And that, in turn, brings Obi-Wan peace, too.
Right, finally feeling some heaviness lift from him. It's a shared release, in a way.
So, as you, our listener, reflect on all this, maybe consider the broken circles in your own life. Those past patterns, perhaps, or unresolved conflicts that might still be influencing your present. How might confronting those truths and perhaps offering or seeking forgiveness allow you to truly begin again and maybe create a more meaningful future? Something to think about.